My word. That sounds incredible. I have to see it.
So far, it's just all in my head. But if you're patient and help me, you'll see soon enough. It's in the interest of the advancement and prosperity of mankind. Just look at the Bible. Moses could command the waters and speak to God through the element of fire. Jesus brought the dead back to life. I've no doubt that if our great Holy Mother Church had been around at the time, they'd have crucified Jesus the same. All the apostles would have been burned at...
So a golem, you say, made of flour? For the good of man?
Exactly!
And what about the good of me? You promised me a reward.
You already know that you can learn the practical application, but for a few groschen, we could discuss the art on a more, let's say,
I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Supposing you give me a few groschen first, as a reward for bringing... And then I'll decide whether to trade the coin for some learning.
Oh, see now? I completely forgot. I added in what I owe for those sacks you carried. And if you want some more...
What's this next job all about?
I need to find a saltpeter pit.
Never a wasted word, eh, Crazel?
Short and to the point. That's my credo.
And how long will it take before you tell me what a saltpeter pit is?
A saltpeter pit is a pit in which saltpeter is formed.
This has something to do with that alchemy of yours, eh? I don't know.
Nitra is saltpeter. White crystals similar to salt.
And what needs salting here in the mill? Or is it supposed to be some peculiar Crazel wedding gift for a young Semine?
Nothing of the sort. The Kabbalistic doctrine speaks of saltpeter as a vessel for the inexhaustible essence of life. Those white crystals are said to contain the very essence of being. That's precisely what we need to give thanks to the ingredients from Hermes Trismegistos. His feet will never get tired, and his... But saltpeter is the most important thing. Saltpeter will be the golem's heart.
So you're serious about this golem? And are you certain it'll work out?
Certainly. Otherwise, I wouldn't even try.
How much saltpeter will it take to bring to life such a big creature?
A lot. That's why I want you to find me a decent saltpeter.
I was hoping I'd learn something useful from you. But instead, you're making me wander around the countryside looking for some pit.
Well, you never know when an experience like that might...
All right, then. I just hope you know where to look. And also that you'll get me into that wedding.
Yes, Bonnie has a lead. She's a damned handy girl to have around. But for you, the most important thing is that she knows how to look for niter, or salt.
So this Bonnie, she's a dowser or something?
Bonnie is someone I trust without question, and you should too. Not only will she teach you how to find saltpeter, but also how to differentiate it from common salt. The main difference is it has kind of cooling taste.
Hold your horses. You want me to taste that nasty stuff?
If you don't taste it, you could confuse it with some nasty rot. And you don't want that.
Damn right.
Don't be such a lily liver, Henry. If Bonnie can, she'll tell you the rest herself. You'll find that's a secret storage space I have here just by the pond. Only my...
You have a secret storage space? You're full of surprises, Crazel.
What's so surprising about that?
Well, actually, it makes sense. I reckon you can't... So how do I get to this lair?
There's a bridge over the mill stream towards the southwest. Take the path to the left, just behind it along the pond. From that path, you turn right, uphill, between the rocks, and you'll find yourself right in front of the lair. You can't miss it. Oh, and so I don't forget. You could pick some herbs along the way to see Bonnie. It would make her very happy. She's just been through some tough times. Her dog died, and on top of that, she has to... On the other hand, Zedek might be holding his tongue for a while after his...
If Bonnie spends time with Zinnek, she may want some spirits rather than herbs.
Bonnie? Never. Being a decent Christian, she avoids alcohol like the plague. Right along.
To the lair. How about some more advice on sneaking around in Troskowitz?
You've come to the right man. You're as clumsy as a blind dog and about as inconspicuous as a cow at a banquet table. You've got a lot to learn.
Well, I was focused mainly on my fighting skills.
I don't blame you. Me, I'm no good with a sword. Might be more useful, but still, ask away.
A weapon in hand won't do me much good, but I feel more confident with it.
Seems like everyone does nowadays. But if you're not looking to draw attention, a dagger in your belt will do just fine. All you need in your hand is, well, it's best to keep your hands free.
That's all. Show me.
Bless.
Praise the Lord.
Good day.
Careful.
What a cheap old nag.
Everything all right, eh?
Damnation. Ah, damn.
Hail Mary.
I am... Jesus Christ be praised.
I'm Henry, Miller Crazel's new apprentice. He sent me to search for a niter pit and said you might be able to help me with that.
Of course I will. I'm Bonnie. Nice to meet you.
Bonnie? It's not a name I hear often.
It's not the name I was baptized with. In our craft, it ain't a good idea to tell people your real name. What should we call you?
The Wolf of Skalitz.
Well, let's... You know what? I'll come up with a nickname for you. Did you bring me?
Actually, Crazel's...
He's right there. Do you have...
I've got something here.
My word, that's exactly what I need. The ingredients for the...
What kind of magic ritual?
The kind where Zenek finally gets some sense into his head. Just so you know, that mess with the author of Hen... While we're on the subject of rituals...
He did.
And what do you think of it?
Well, if that beast doesn't slay us as soon as it comes to life, then I think it's all witchcraft.
Playing... But don't worry. I'm sure it'll be a peaceful goal. Calm and humble, and it'll help all of... But that's enough of that. We're not going to stand here talking about flower golems when we've barely just met. I'd like to chat with you too, Henry. Get to know you a bit. But if you're in a hurry to find Crazel's saltpeter...
No. I have plenty of time.
You know what? I'll start. When they caught Zenek in Troskowitz, I was scared out of my mind that they'd catch me and clap me in the stocks. I had to hide out here for a while, so I haven't had anyone to talk to. Life in the lair isn't all fun and games. Zenek and all the other mill knuckleheads were never worth much as company. So I'm glad the millers finally found a normal hand for once. But it's a shame I don't have my dog Sniffer no more. It was fun with him at least.
Crazel mentioned that he died.
Aye, from some fucking disease. He started getting these lumps all over his body. Then he stopped eating and... And what about you? What kind of family are you from? Also, thieves?
No. Pa was a blacksmith. I inherited something from him, I hope.
Oh, really? Would you teach me how to make, maybe, barrel hoops?
Those are pretty hard. Wouldn't you rather start with, maybe...
Sure. I'm pretty quick to learn and patient. That is, with one exception. When Crazel starts spouting off his alchemy theories, I'd rather... What do you think of the old miller, anyway?
He seems awfully mystical. He has lots of experience, like as if he's lived for hundreds of years.
It's his beard that does that. Thanks for talking to me. It really is good to have someone to pour my heart out to. But now, about that... Before you came, and before Zenek fucked up with the manuscript, we collected saltpeter all over the place, mainly in sties. It has to be scraped from the walls. Horrible work, time-consuming and annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. We also looked in a few chests, just in case. You know. Anyhow, now all the sties in the region are scraped clean and we're sitting pretty on a nice barrel of saltpeter.
Barrel is quite a lot.
For the whole Trotsky region, aye. Unfortunately, Crazel said we need at least 6 times as much.
6 times? Will one saltpeter pit be enough?
I reckon so. There should be as much as Crazel needs for his masterwork. If you're looking for it, you ought to know how saltpeter forms. Do you have any idea?
No, I don't. And Crazel, of course, didn't tell me shit.
Don't forget that saltpeter crystals are formed in places where something is rotting. It can be shit or carcasses. Well, a saltpeter pit is actually nothing more than a mass grave. The best natural saltpeter maker.
Crazel said saltpeter is a vessel for life energy. I get it that it's left over from dead bodies, but how do you get it from shit?
God's mysterious ways.
And he also wanted me to taste it. That's nonsense, though.
Unfortunately, it isn't. Otherwise, you won't know if it's saltpeter or some other shit. It feels kind of cold on the tongue.
Jesus. And you...
Not exactly, but I have an idea. A person who's digging holes and throwing dead bodies into them and doesn't even know he's got a...
The local gravedigger?
Exactly. And the one we have here in the region is also the knacker.
Ah, the gravedigger Ignatius. I've already met him. He lives outside Troskowitz in the direction of Apollonia, right?
Aye, that's him.
So I'm in for a walk to the cemetery.
Seems like it. Too bad you couldn't have walked around the county with us before. It was fun. And pretty useful experience. I learned a lot during that time, and I won't keep it to myself. I'd be happy to teach you something, if you want.
I'll keep that in mind.
That old gravedigger will be suspicious, so... I'd bring him some kind of offering. He's always dragging those carcasses, so I'm sure he'd appreciate a slab of fresh meat from Troskowitz butcher.
Good idea.
He lives a short way from the cemetery, so at least the meat won't go bad on the way. Lots of luck, the Wolf of Skalitz.
What is this lair place?
Crazel built a stall so all them honest, curious people in the mill, the likes of Hensel, wouldn't have to worry their little heads about what we're doing here.
You mean behind that boarded up...
We're definitely not doing anything there right now. Because of the mess in there. I told Zenek.
I'd like to learn...
What would you like to know?
What did you do before?
I got by any way I could.
You? A nun? Well, why not?
Oh well. Different people have different fates.
Why do you work for the miller?
Because he pays well and don't care how much coin I'm...
You mean by stealing?
And he doesn't...
What do you think about Crazel?
You're another one of those that don't know if they should... Crazel is his own man. Once you learn to get along with him, but sometimes he's unbearable. God be with you. doing here?
Eh?
What are you staring at? I'll kill you. Useless. Mercy! Spare me! going to do laundry today?
Aye, of course. Greetings to you. Farewell. And take a bath, for goodness sake. You look awful.
Careful. Stop that whistling. You're behaving like a child.
Hey, you! Halt!
What?
What?
Can I help you? What are you doing? Watch out with that weapon! Are you trying to threaten me?
Put away that weapon! Is there something you need?
What are you
You better
barking
go
like
before
that
people
for?
start to think you're trying to steal something.
What was he barking at? Well,
What? Oh, it's you. Sorry.
God be with you.
Greetings to you.
what's that noise? What? That's right.
Was that you? Ah, never mind then.
Whoa! Whoa!
The angel of the Lord declared unto...
Ignatius.
Of course. How many are there? Where do you want to bury? Shall we grind the teeth up, or do you want to take them away in your purse?
None of that. I have a Bonnie from Lower Semine sent me.
From Lower Semine?
A saltpeter pit.
I ain't never heard of nothing like that. What?
Yeah, something like that. At night, you hear the cries of...
Well, that I can't help you with.
Not to worry. It's actually just a hole with some these white crystals for a minute. And that's
You should have said you're looking for the pit I throw carcasses into. I'm going to go there anyway, so I'll take you there.
Really?
Not even a chicken scratches in the dirt without hope of reward, though. You'll help me with... I have some collections from some Slatigo farmsteads, and I'd be a fool if I didn't use a helping hand. At least one day I can take it...
You want me to help you with your grave digging business?
Why not? You look like a strong fella.
I have a better idea. You tell...
I won't say no to that. Oh, aye, fresh meat. What? Now, listen closely. That pit of yours lies at the end of a long journey that we'll take together on my wagon.
So you got meat out of me for nothing?
When I see how much you lot in Lower Semine are interested in it, I'm not just going to hand it to you on a plate. But thanks for the meat. And don't... Grave digging is a job like any other. Sooner or later, everyone needs our services. And if it wasn't for us knackers, folk would have to deal...
Of course. I understand. I'm just a little worried about what people will say about me when they see me with you. I wouldn't like to lose the honor I've earned as squire to a nobleman.
Don't worry about what people say. They'll only strip you of your honor if you let them. So what then? Shall we take a nice little ride with... Nice and early, at daybreak?
Let's get this...
The dew is still on the leaves. The roads are clear. You don't need your horse. I'll stable him here. In any case, heavens all. Hop on the wagon and Snorter and Dragonfly here will take... Did I bring that stuff for Visor? Meat? Bane? Aesop? Got it all. Good. Come on, then. Get a move on. We've got a long journey ahead of us, so get yourself comfortable so your arse won't hurt. So, you say you're from Lower Semine, eh?
Well, you could say that. I help the miller with whatever I can. I got a place to sleep there. Soon I'll be able to call the miller uncle.
I remember Crazel when he was still a wee lad. Even then he was a great big smart-ass. When I buried his parents, he was traipsing somewhere through the world. Maybe you heard what they say about Lower Semine round these parts. Crazel don't sell short measure, not that. He looks out for his reputation, but his helpers have been seen often in the villages after dark, looking fishy. Or during the day, in the pillories. Don't that bunny of yours belong to that gang too?
Bonnie's an honest girl, and her friend Zinnek is too. Crazel only sent them to scrape saltpeter off the walls of the sties, so that's just what they've been doing. From what she told me, they had nothing else in mind.
Lower Semine's a thorn in the side for a lot of folk. Some on account of the competition. Some is just rubbed up the wrong way by that Crazel. Either way, all they need's the slightest excuse to grab their pitchforks, go and grab the miller and shove his face right in his own millstone. Whoa, boys, whoa! Come on. Come on! Are you deaf? Oh, they're acting stubborn again. Now listen, Henry. Here on the left side, you'll see the ruins of a cottage that's been abandoned for a few years.
I can't see a thing through those bushes.
You'll go and have a close look. Don't worry. I have a trap set inside the cottage. I wanted to lure a wolf into it, but that didn't work out. There's a deer rotting there unnecessarily. So hop in there and bring it to the wagon. Finally, at least we're not blocking the road too much.
Damnation. If I leave, Ignatius will go without me. damnation. Shit!